How is it going, guys, and welcome to yet another video. Yeah, it's a bit weird posting quite a few videos all in one week, but today we are going back a few years to F1 2018, and in my opinion, in terms of online league racing, this is probably the best game we've had for quite a while. I'd say it's the most complete game, apart from at the start there was a tiny bit of desync, but that was soon sorted out, so definitely for me this is the most complete F1 game we've had for a while. Maybe you could say the modern one, the newer ones are a little bit better in some features, but in other features they're just not as good. And considering there's been 2 years of development, they should be better than they are really. So yeah, we've got 5 lights here at Mexico. We're as Daniel Ricciardo in the Red Bull. Obviously he is no longer here in Red Bull. But yeah, I really just wanted to do this just to see how different the game really was and why it is better. Because personally, as I said, this was probably the best league racing experience I've had on any F1 game. It's the F1 game I played the most, and yeah, it was all round just probably the best one. Notably the tyres. Tyre management was a massive thing on this game, something I very much struggled with at the start of the game. Setup variation was big as well. You don't really get too much variation in setup. Everyone's sort of going for the same almost objective, whereas on this game there was ballast, which a lot of people didn't like because you went with low front wing, but that made it like there was also a lot of variation. You could use 8 ballast, 9 ballast, sometimes 10 ballast, and you play around with all different parts of the setup, whereas on 2020 it's all about getting your suspension, doing 111 and just trying to get the most oversteery thing possible. So yeah, that's just one thing I've wanted to note. So we're here at Mexico, as I said, and we're doing a 5-lap race on 110 AI. And really, looking at it, there's not much of a graphical change. I'd say the only difference you notice is the actual tarmac isn't as like smooth of a colour. That's the only real difference, and obviously the HUD's changed quite a bit. But I wouldn't say that's a graphical update. That's just natural progression almost. So yeah, we've made it up into P4 from I think P6 on the grid, and we were really quite good through this last sector. Apart from out of this final corner, the AI just bombed it out there on traction. And let's see if we can win this as we put in the fastest lap of the race, and we're behind Vettel. And obviously the Red Bull in real life this year, or 2018, was the quickest car at Mexico, but in the game there isn't such thing as altitude adjustment for the engine. So obviously we're not going to be quite as quick. So we dived it down the inside of Vettel there, nice easy move. And one thing I do notice is the AI has improved over the last 2 years. The AI isn't as good on this game as it is on 2020. That's one notable difference. As Verstappen and Raikkonen are battling, and we're going to take advantage of that. And Verstappen, he does turn in on us. That's one of the issues I've noticed. They do turn in on you quite a bit. So that spatial awareness isn't as good, but gladly that's something that's been improved over the last few games. But as a league racing spectacle, as an overall game, I still think this is the best online experience, at least I think we've had for many a year. So yeah, it's interesting. It would be interesting to hear everyone else's thoughts. I know quite a few people agree with me. I know a lot of people liked F1 2016 because that's when the skill gap was probably at its highest. The 2018 skill gap, while it was lowered, compared to 2020, it's massive. Like 2020, there's so many drivers within such a small amount of time. Compared to 2018, it was a much vastly spread grid, and you could say it was better quality drivers, but I also think it was a much harder game at the time to be quick on, especially with those factors such as the ballast, trying to get the setup right, and the tyre management. As we get a warning, so yeah, we've got to make sure we don't get too many more of them. Do we look for a move on Raikkonen? No, we don't. And that's one more thing to notice. The ERS management. Now, out of the 3 games that had ERS, I would hands down say this is the best one in terms of absolute management, because you've got the same management on 2019, but it doesn't. Basically, you save more ERS. So that means you don't form as much DRS trains, because the car in front can, as we go very wide there, the car in front can use more ERS than on 2019, so we can actually pull away easier. Although you still do get some DRS trains, it's nowhere near as bad as it was in 2019. And on 2020, from what I can tell, obviously I'm not the best league racer anymore, but there are a lot of trains as well, and you don't have that overall management that I think they were hoping for with the new ERS system. Hopefully they're thinking, okay, could we use overtake now again just to overtake, not as a strategic stage as DRS. And yeah, well, I think that's what they were going for. As we go for the move on Raikkonen on the final lap, we go around the outside into turn 1, which then is the inside for turn 2, but the outside again for turn 3. Raikkonen keeps it in there, and we're side by side on the exit. We do get the DRS, and we have Vettel right behind us, so we need to be a little bit careful here. We also have Verstappen as well right behind us. We do, I believe, just getting the move done on Raikkonen, and that is us into P1 on the final lap of this 5-lap race here at Mexico. So yeah, I'd be really interested to see what you guys think. Well, as I said, for me it's my favourite game, one I spent the most time on, and I'd like to hear your guys' opinion, and also maybe, I know it's not the most probably popular thing to do, but maybe do a league race here on this game one more time. I don't know, it's just an option really. That's something I'd be up to, because it was such a good game personally for league racing. The likes of ILR, AOR was still good back on there, and yeah, it was just really fun. So that's that for the video. We are going to come across the line in P1 on 110 AI, first race back on this game, and it's a pretty decent one. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to leave you with the race highlights. Obviously you don't have the highlights mode, so I've just put together a few clips of the just the overall race. So there's Christian Horner looking very happy, and there's Ricciardo celebrating. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and hopefully this is the start of something with me actually making content. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.